Hey folks, welcome to another battle report. I've called it Legends of the Dark Ages, but what we're basically using here is the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game rules, with just a few extra bonus rules that I'll explain in just a minute. I've been wanting to do this for a while because I really like the Lord of the Rings rule set. The Hobbit kind of messed it around a bit, made monsters good, but their weapon rules were the right pain in the arse, and I really didn't like it. Plus, the newer characters also became somewhat overpowered. But the main system itself, I mean, if you've ever played Legends of the High Seas or Legends of the Old West, it's a really good system. It's pretty basic, easy to get into, and I think eventually I'm going to get to the point where I want to do a little campaign and maybe take from the Legends of the Old West High Seas rules, which are very Mordheim-esque, you know, for rolling for injuries and picking up, making your money and getting wounds and stuff like that, which I just think will be a lot of fun. And it was something for us to do while waiting for Saga 2 to come out, which it finally has done, and I've got the rulebook and I'll do a little review on that later on. So the scenario for this one is going to be a Cornish village on the borders of Saxon lands, and we're going to be invaded by the Irish. So they popped across the sea there and had a go at Cornwall. I've got 7 civilian models. Basically, if I can hold more civilian models at the end, so if 4 survive, I win. If the Irish kill off 4, he wins, and it's the first army to break ends the game. So the rules I'm going to be using in this is basically Dane axes act as a 2-hand weapons, but I've also given them the reach ability so they can fight through another one. This is just for me, personal preference, because I've seen a lot of Dane axes and they work really well in the second rank fighting over a shielded man. So I'm going to try it out and see if it works well for the system. You've got the 2-handed spears. They work effectively as pikes in the Lord of the Rings rules, except you get -1 to your dice roll if you're in base contact, because the length is obviously a downside at that point. Spears, shields, exactly the same, except shield will now give you a shield wall bonus. So what that means is if at the start of the fight you're in base contact with another friendly guy to the left or right, not a supporting guy, you'll get +1 armor. So that's quite cool. Light armor gives you +2 to your defense. A helmet gives you +1 to your defense. Shield +1 for defense. What else did we do? Oh, axes. Axes remove any shield wall bonus in someone you're base contact with. This is based on the principle that axes were brought in really as an offensive weapon. I mean, it stopped being a tool with the Vikings, where they brought it in as a weapon, as a way of tackling a shield wall. It would simply be used to hook the shield that's in front of you, pulling it down, and then other spearmen could then, of course, spear the poor bugger behind where the opening appears. So in this, yep, they stop shield wall. And swords. Swords are really the pinnacle of the equipment of the day. They're way too expensive for any commoner to have. They were, you know, a sign of status, and are very good on the attack and defensive. So what we've done in this is basically you get +1 fight. So all the guys here start with the basic 3 stats: fight 3, strength 3, defense 3, and courage 3. Then we've got some armored guys there, which we've made fight 4, and obviously get their armor bonuses. And our leaders are also fight 4, but we'll have 2 attacks, 2 wounds, and 2 might and 2 fate. So one thing that kind of ruins this game, I think, is overly powerful characters. This, we've only got 1, and he's pretty basic, but it's just enough to give some support to the rest of the troops. So with no points sorted out or any real plan on what's going to happen here, we've basically started the Cornish in their village, spread out all over the place. We put 2 guys at the river crossing where the Irish will come from. You see the top left hand side there. And on the first turn, obviously, we'll set the 2 guards that are protecting the river crossing up to try and hold them up. In the meantime, I'm trying to run up all my infantry, start forming up a shield wall, while I try and get my civilians in a safe place somewhere. So my poor guard at the bridge there was quickly slaughtered, and the Irish have slowly made their way across, starting to form up a shield wall. My Cornish in the meantime have also tried to form up a shield wall, with the way to protect my flanks would be to form up in this little gap here. Unfortunately, I've got half my guys coming round the other side of the church. The church itself has got its roof taken off. If you want to know, these are Grand Manor resin ones. They're fantastic models. Really pleased to have got them way back in the day, but I've still got a few of them stuff. I don't think it's so available as pure resin now. I think they're only painted. Back in the day, I got the most pure resin, but great models. But anyway, yeah, I've got some guys trying to form up in the other side of the church, and I've got a group of villagers in the church itself to try and protect it. And as you see from this shot down here, I've got 3 archers around. I'm just bringing them up at the moment. Unfortunately, I've got an archer that set up in the woods, and he's being chased down by some Irish wolfhounds. The poor chap managed to get 1 shot off, and the Irish wolfhounds then got him. I'm just playing for time here, trying to get some of my villagers out of the way. I thought the church might be a good defensive place, but then thinking about it, they're just going to get surrounded in there. So in a minute I'm going to try and break free. I think I've got 1 villager in there, a monk and a child, and try and get them out. In the meantime, I'd say left hand side is my warlord. My opponent's warlord has a sword. He's right at the back here on in this little Irish brigade. And these poor chaps slowly trying to peg it around the corner. I'm quite liking this. I've actually got advantage here. I've got a hearth guard there, and I've got my leader, and he's only got warriors down here. So I've got a combat advantage here. So I might be able to push this flank, and if I get the other central wit to hold off long enough, I actually become behind there and try and take out some 2-handed spears, that kind of thing. So the melee starts, and I'm actually not doing too badly here. Actually, I've got some guys there lined up in 3. This is using the old, as I say, strategy battle game Lord of the Rings rule set. So it's not the Hobbit, which means my 3rd rank isn't actually blocking my front rank. It's one of the rules I didn't like in the new set. You can actually trap your own men by giving them support. So, yep, this is as you can see here, the guys down the bottom managed to win their fights. That was mainly through shielding. The guy in red there managed to hold off against the axeman, who denied his shield wall ability. As you can see here, I'm slowly coming around. I forgot how moving 6 inches turn sounds good, but no way of dashing. I need to maybe try and think of a way of doing that, or get some horses in my Cornish army. That won't be hard. I quite like the idea of that. So these guys come around and trying to take the flank. So after finishing off the other poor archer, the hounds are now making their way around the building and focusing in on the archer I've got here. He's also using the hounds. We've given the hounds a 10-inch move, by the way, so they're faster than the foot troops. Yeah, we've got the hounds here. Is going to try and take out this archer, and beyond here I've got my villagers as well, which he's going to be using his hounds to start chasing down. Okay, so things are looking a bit messy here. At the moment I am getting surrounded. It's not a good place for my Cornishmen to be in front of the church. But as I say, if I can get this left flank in as quick as possible, I should be able to beat that and support the guys in the middle. I'm relying mostly on shielding where I'm outnumbered, and otherwise trying to get a few hits in if I can. With the chance there of me having 2-to-1 on his warlord, I couldn't risk not trying to get a wound on him, so I actually brought my monk out of the church, and he's going to try and batter the enemy warlord as well. I've got another 2-handed spearman here trying to look for an area he can support, and as you see I'm pretty well surrounded as is, but as I say, left hand side is going to be good. And so much for the dashing left hand charge. I should have done well on this, but I didn't. Not only did I lose a warrior and a hearth guard, I didn't actually win. No, I didn't win any of my fights, bar my warlord, who managed to take out the chap in front of him. As time goes by, my troops are dropping like flies, but I am getting a few of the Irish down as well. The dogs now, unfortunately, just in the bottom of this picture, you can see a roof missing off this house. It's the granary, and I ran my archer up into the granary so the dogs can't climb. So he was sitting up there shooting at the granary door. So the dogs ignored him and decided to go off chasing my other archers. And I've got 3 civilians on the top side there. They know they're in trouble if I don't get rid of these dogs. I've got an archer coming in trying to put some shots off against the dogs, and another archer on the left hand side who I'm just going to end up throwing into combat to try and win some of these fights. If I can win these fights, it will really help. I do believe I lost my priest as well in the last fight, so things aren't looking fantastic. So the writing is on the wall for the Cornish now. There isn't much left of my warriors in the centre. Yeah, his dogs are now helping out. I'm outnumbered on every fight. As I say, the left-hand side, look at that. All those fights all bar one I've got an advantage on, so I should have won and broken through there, but I'm still piddling around on the left hand side. My guy's unable to fight, though my warlord do me quite proud. And the fight's here, as you can see in the centre. I'm outnumbered and in a bit of a hard place. And as the game comes towards an end, the writing is completely on the wall, and it's death to my villagers as he releases the hounds and starts chasing down my peasants where he can. Though they did try and come in to give the last of my warriors a hope and chance of breaking out the guards in the building, nah, that was all over for the Cornish. And as you can see, I've got one guy stuck in the middle there with a two-handed spear, not in a great place. I've got one archer there, and my warlord's still alive, and we've got one guy with him, but with me broken, my guys are going to be running off the board. So my warlord will be off, and obviously going to get some more guys to join him on the next one, and try and have at these Irish, because they're a pain in the backside. It was good fun. I enjoy the Lord of the Rings system. As I say, I think it's a very strong system, and it works well. With the rules that we've done for the weapons as well, it makes the weapons feel like you know, how they were used during the period, and an overall fun game. So we're going to do a couple of these. I think I quite like to do some, you know, proper raids and stuff, and as I say, maybe get some scenarios going, like a little campaign or something. But anyway, my corner should be waiting for some revenge on the Irish. And with that as well, with the new saga out, and I've finally read through the rulebook, there should be some saga battle reports coming soon. Take care all, thou Ellis.